The question that we're asking you out there is, do you think using sex toys and watching porn, not with your partner, okay, by yourself, is that cheating? What do you want to call that? Or
Masturbation.
yes, which is very natural, but are you hiding it from your partner? Would you be okay telling him that you masturbated this morning?
Welcome to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty. I am excited, as always, to be in studio with my best friend, Farley. And today we're making it fun. We're having a glass of wine because our topic later is going to be something that most people need alcohol for. But before we get to that, I want to talk about where I was because I want people to recognize that there are certain moments in life you never get back. I was with my son and niece for graduation. It's that time of year where everybody goes and celebrates all of the hard work, dedication, effort that's put in as a student. But we financially, we're doing high fives, thinking that
This
we're
is
done.
college graduations, if you're wondering.
We're done with college graduations. I've made it a non-negotiable in my life that I will attend every single one of my immediate family members' children's high school and college graduations. It's, to me, it's so easy and fun. The message is beautiful. The energy is incredible. And what you're celebrating is the opportunity for what's happening next.
Not to mention, you're getting together with family. Anytime you can get together with family or your people and celebrate a loved one, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And if it's a friend and it's traveling somewhere, make it happen because you can't go backwards. And when you are listening to people reminisce and you weren't there, you're kind of like, why didn't I go to that
wasn't
again?
I there? Right.
It's dumb.
It does, and you're trying to make a reason why you weren't there because there had to have been a good reason. Yet, if you can't come up with it, I guess there really wasn't one. Dumb. So celebrate your graduates in this moment where opportunity is everything. And opportunity is everything in our top 3 this weekend.
Ooh, I'm going to start out with the interesting one. See if you guys can follow. It's clever. 8647 indicted for the second time.
Okay. If you don't know what the 8647 reference is, that is a reference to FBI Director James Comey. It was on Instagram about a year ago where he found seashells along the Florida coast that had these 4 numbers. Now, social media has gone nuts, and subsequently he's been indicted
by the DOJ, so it's legit
for
the second time.
For interpretation of what this means. If you look up 8647, it's slang. It's interpreted by people many ways. 86 means to
done. Kill it. It's over. We're out. We want it gone.
Right. And 47, people are saying, refers to
the 47th president, which is Donald Trump.
Right. So those two have a long storied history of Hillary Clinton's emails, banter back and forth as to he said, she said politically. He was appointed by Obama. Kash Patel is our current.
And we know that because FBI. Of the leak in the hockey aftermath of the Olympics. We only seem to know these FBI directors when they do something dumb or they're, all of a sudden in front of the world.
Yeah. Well,
with their pants down.
Yeah. We don't want that.
No. We don't.
TMI FBI.
It is. It's a little bit of a shame, too, because you want to have faith in these people that are in big decorated positions. And it makes me think that he was probably a scumbag or did some crooked things when he was serving his term.
Yeah, well, I think that's every single politician. Those are the rules of engagement anymore. And even in our local politics in Little Silver, New Jersey, you got to have an eye on what's happening and you got to be involved. And it takes a lot. Nowadays.
Think about all the movies that have crooked FBI, cops, CIA. It's scary. This is the FBI. They're supposed to protect and serve. And you look at all the shenanigans where there's smoke, there's fire. These movies, the plots are probably a little too close to home.
You know what? There's a Mel Gibson movie that was put on my radar called Conspiracy Theory. It's old.
Ooh.
And everybody has an opinion on Mel Gibson. Everything he says in this movie is true.
Oof. Kind of like The Simpsons. He's predicting weird stuff.
Totally.
Or shedding light on things that have happened.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm going to predict you're going to say number 2 now.
Oh, wow. Number 2, NCAA grants a 5th year for those starting in 2027, not seniors. Sucky. Really sucky.
There is a time and place where rules have to change. And it stinks if you're on that precipice of change. My second son was affected by the birth year change that happened across the board in the United States with soccer, where they realized that in order to be competitive globally, they couldn't go by age, they had to go by birth. You couldn't pay U13 based on your age.
Yep. I remember it affected Chase too.
Yeah. Shane and Chase are the same age.
Exactly.
So that's what is happening here. There is no more red shirt.
Right.
You get 5 years of eligibility, regardless of injury or
any circumstances,
or waiting for another year for your player to develop. The PG year in lacrosse has become very instituted.
So you have to be 19 to 24 to be in this 5-year stretch.
Other than 24, you can't play.
And I don't think you would want to. I look at Mackenzie, my oldest, who had a COVID year.
Yeah.
And missed her whole freshman season and then blew out her ACL her senior year and did not play. So she played sophomore and junior year only. Mm-hmm. And then she took her 5th year, which was her 3rd, and she played her 5th year. So she still had a year of eligibility technically, but she was like, they call all these older girls granny panties on the field. And she's like, that's the last thing that I want to do.
Well, you age out. You don't want to be in college for the most part. You're pursuing a master's or additional education the 5th year. But even my son, he was there for an additional year at University of Florida, and it was played.
I like the idea of it because Mackenzie got her 5th year, her master's paid for. And if she hadn't been injured, if she hadn't had a COVID year, I don't know that we're planning on staying there for more than 4 years. And Abby, she's going to be able to get a certificate or a master's that will also be paid for. So it does work out if she doesn't have an injury.
There's a lot of ifs in that, but
and some of them are unfair ifs.
I read that they were trying to alleviate the red shirt, injury, and kids theoretically playing the game of getting 6 years, or they're saying things happen, injuries happen, issues happen. I want a red shirt a year because we have too many quarterbacks, but I need you next year.
Right.
You know, like
the red shirting thing gets out of control.
Strategic.
Yes. If you've never been on the field,
right? Just
because you're not in the starting lineup and you're not even in the second lineup,
right?
And if the coaches look at you as a valuable contributor potentially down the pike, then they'll offer that red shirt. But a lot of people don't get the red shirt offer, which is why people are jumping in the portal. It's confusing to be an athlete in the NCAA these days.
Well, at least the athletes are getting recognition and that ownership with the NIL and this opportunity for 5 years. They know going into it, moving forward, it's on the table. So I can be strategic about my career.
Yes. You just need good luck on your side.
Always. Good luck is half the battle.
Luck is half the battle. And number 1, for those of you that remember Elizabeth Smart, did you ever think that a child safety activist would be competing in bodybuilding competitions and winning?
For those people that are pre-Elizabeth Smart, she was abducted and held for, I think it was 9 months.
Out of her bedroom in the middle of the night at 14 years old.
And was a sex slave.
Oh, she was.
It was a terrible story that got a lot of press.
Hideous.
And what she's done since this horrible occurrence when she was very young is a testament to her ability to take something negative and turn it around and make it positive. This foundation, the Elizabeth Smart Foundation, focuses on providing support and resources for sexual assault victims, and then taking bodybuilding and being like, this body is a temple and a powerhouse.
She is dealing with hideous stories every day because she's giving back, and I'm sure she's reliving things constantly by being in this area and making it her life mission. So I think she decided that this is how she's going to take her power back and she'll get lost in training. And I read in the article that she is ridiculously strong and can lift a significant amount of weight and transformed her body. And she's dedicated, and that's her outlet.
It's an incredible story. If you haven't seen the photos,
she looks amazing.
Phenomenal. Kudos for taking a shitstorm, horrible, atrocious, could crush a living soul, and there would be nothing wrong with you being crushed by having that happen to you.
Absolutely.
No judgment there.
Yep.
And taking that and propelling and inspiring and changing and shifting the needle. So she's pretty close to a Got Grit award winner at some point. And we're going to continue to watch her because she's going to continue to do amazing things.
She won Fit Model Novice in the 2026 Wasatch Warrior competition held in Salt Lake City. So
awesome. I love
amazing. Now what we are going to venture in is a conversation that women have together pretty often that revolves around sex and what is considered cheating, infidelity. It's a very personal topic, and it has everything to do with boundaries that you've set up with your partner, your significant other, your wife, your husband, whoever.
Yeah. Well, and you hear so much of it. I'm sure there's people in communities across the country that have these kinds of agreements. You hear them more in a Hollywood vein, or let's say a high echelon of society vein, where people have a theoretical marriage where they have the ability
it's an arrangement
to be with other people, and everybody gives a wink, wink, nod, nod. We love each other on paper, or it looks good for the photo op.
Uncoupling. People that had an open marriage, like Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband, and that's how they divorced.
Oh no, the conscious uncoupling is actually the term.
That's what it was.
The conscious uncoupling. I think Gwyneth Paltrow is an incredible linguist of language. She's able to nuance things in a way where even Goop, and I don't want to plug her because she does make me a little cuckoo.
Yes.
But even Goop.
Yeah, you kind of don't want Goop, but then you kind of want to know more about Goop. It shocked me that she had that type of a marriage. Oh, and there was some open doors there. And I'm thinking,
stories I have from a very, very reputable source say that she was take a massage on the sideline of SNL with full release.
Wow. All right.
But that's not cheating. Okay. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. We're going back to that.
Yeah, we are. In the world of cheating, 20% of men cheat. That's the statistic. And 13% of women cheat.
It's wide of a gap as I would have thought it would be.
They're saying the younger demographic of women now, 40% cheat over the past generations. So we're increasing our cheating at younger ages. So it's starting to balance out according to the statistics that I read.
Awesome. Society is in. I mean, like, what the hell? Hell in a handbasket.
61% of men who cheated are still married. It's an interesting statistic.
Wait. Say that again.
61% of men who cheated are still married compared to 40% of women. When a man cheats, supposedly, it's more careless, reckless. There's a paper trail. Whereas a woman
we're so stupid.
is doing it because she's almost ready to leave the marriage.
Well, from the optics that I see, and this is not based on science or fact, it does appear if a guy cheats that women are more likely to stay. If a female cheats, she's more likely to be leaving.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
That's exactly what I read.
But I'm just saying, like, getting away from the statistics, it does feel that way.
No, I think it's spot on.
Yeah.
Those statistics are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Because we aren't looking to cheat because it's human nature for us to like get off and turn the page. We're a little more emotionally invested-ish.
Not for the ism, it's the ish. No, we're going to have the ish.
I know. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to generalize. Emotional affairs. To me, that is more toxic and hurtful than if somebody were to have casual sex with, I don't even know.
I don't know. I think they're both bad.
They're both bad, but an emotional affair.
John Barretius, you're not allowed to do either.
Oh my God. Yeah, Pat. Intimate emotional connections formed outside of a relationship characterized by secrecy and emotional attachment, which is a total breach of trust. That to me is more painful. An emotional affair, if my husband was like talking to somebody and, lamenting over all the problems that we have or what he doesn't like or what he wishes he had or vice versa, whatever it is, you're mutually each other's confidant. Yeah. That would be very hurtful because now they're bonding on some level that they have in common. And then it leads to the next thing.
Well, it's also like, and this is an old-minded saying, but it's true. Don't air dirty laundry. If I'm having a problem with somebody who's intimate in my life, my partner, living together, being together, married, next level, kids, next level.
Oh, yeah.
If all of a sudden my person, whoever you are on that spectrum, is having a very close conversation that's not within that circle of two, you've reached everything.
Yes.
Things that are between you and I now are between some third person that is who to you? What are we doing?
It's naughty. I don't like it.
No.
I would be much more hurt about that type of scenario because just even knowing my husband, who isn't the most amazing communicator, was communicating and sharing secrets and intimacies with somebody else, it would be a terrible thing. Another thing that we've debated about, which is why we're bringing this podcast, I can't tell you how many people say all the time that we should do a podcast on sex toys. And we have
Does that constitute cheating? What does that mean?
And
for anybody in my family listening, if you would like to now click off the button, you're welcome to do so. So full disclaimer on the next portion of the podcast.
So the question that we're asking you out there is, do you think using sex toys and watching porn, not with your partner, okay, by yourself, is that cheating? What do you want to call that? Or
masturbation?
Yes, which is very natural, but are you hiding it from your partner? Would you be okay telling him that you masturbated this morning? And would you like to know that he also, as he's showering, we don't know what each other does. There's secrets out there. And is it natural or is it sneaky?
Well, again, that depends upon what your boundaries are and what your lines are.
Boundaries that are like discussed in a marriage between two lovers.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Between lovers.
Are people having a conversation about that? Like the personal relationship you have with yourself. Let's take that away from sex for a second, just to be able to understand the sex piece of it. Every thought that comes into my head, am I required to have a conversation about that?
No.
If we follow that ideology, then every sexual instinct that I have or every desire, as long as it doesn't take you to a place where you're going against that person, that belongs to me too.
Well, you know, there's certain dirty aspects about things and stereotypes.
Talk about that. What's that?
Well,
what's dirty?
Okay. Well, what's really dirty is that teen porn is the most searched and is the most popular.
Well, that's because they can, going back to our devices and our phones.
I know, but that's dirty to me. Searching up teens. I think that's where.
Oh, you mean teen porn?
Teens.
Oh, I thought you meant teens looking for porn.
No.
Oh, because teens are always.
No, I'm talking about the most searched up type of porn.
Oh, wait, why do we have to talk about that?
Because it's naughty. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting to the point of I'm bringing porn into the conversation.
Okay.
And where there's a fine line. If you're with your partner and you have toys and you're watching porn together, okay, that floats your boat. That's what you guys are doing. If you are watching porn by yourself and using toys or whatever, are you being sneaky? Do you feel dirty? And what is it that you're viewing? Guys would love to know that we are taking in porn that is lesbian oriented. That would be a turn on probably to most men.
And why is that?
Because it's prettier. And because there's no male appendage in the scene. They don't really want us looking at other.
You know, I have a new theory on that.
Oh, no.
They don't want another dude to compete with.
And especially like big, giant, freaking baby's arms.
But why do we? Why is another woman allowed into a situation and everybody's like, that's sexy?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not.
It's annoying because porn stars and strippers usually have a nice physique. But what I will say is the internet does not discriminate, and porn doesn't discriminate because everybody likes everything according to OnlyFans, which is another topic. So it's really where you choose to consume, what you're consuming. There's blurred lines. And from a religious standpoint, some of this is not acceptable either. So it's a hard conversation to navigate because you don't want to be judged.
But let's go back 100 years. Okay. So we're now in the 1920s, roaring 20s, turn of the century. How were you consuming porn in 1920?
You weren't. Well, maybe they had dirty
burlesque shows, or again, we come back to technology, the scalability of information.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right now, right here on my device, pull up. God knows.
Oh, yes.
The insanity that I could pull
all
up,
of it.
which I will not.
Yes.
Because I don't want to.
You could go to jail if you decided to go navigate in that direction.
And that's crazy.
And that's the part that is really upsetting here, because it's like what gets certain people off isn't what gets other people off. And that's where too much of everything is accessible. You've got a foot fetish. I can go on to OnlyFans. I can tell somebody to put on a clown costume and have, their tits out. It's whatever you want. It's whatever floats your boat. I'm watching this movie right now.
I'm like, where is this coming from?
Well, Margot's got money problems. For anybody that's looking for something to binge, it's bingeable. It's Elle Fanning, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Nicole Kidman. And it's David Kelly moving away from his traditional Melrose Place and whatever else he did to this bizarre situation. I don't want to give away the plot, but let's just say Elle Fanning is in a situation where she needs money, and she's realizing how quickly she can make money doing a lot of different things and becoming a jack of all trades.
It's called a hoe.
It's, well, it's like,
you're helping yourself out.
Yeah.
Don't be a hoe unless you're at Christmas time. And ho, ho,
Oh my, everything has gotten scary, I think, is the point of what we're trying to table here, because anything goes. Whatever you want. Getting younger and younger and younger.
But the flip side is when you look at some of the data, what people are watching and consuming on the porn side is so insane. It's violent, and the intimacy level and the number of people that are having multiple children are going down. And I think those two things are correlated, because
for sure,
when we come back to the way our kids are being raised and the society in which we live in, and for the most part, we can only change our individual universe and the people that we love. So people aren't dating the way they used to. We know this. They're not getting intimate the way they used to. They're not holding hands and looking each other in the eyes for the first time. They're doing a lot of things online that takes that barrier down. And then they're being witness to pornographic details that aren't.
We went from burlesque shows to strip joints, and guys could get their rocks off looking at naked chicks dancing. Okay, that's relatively benign, but not really, because it escalates and anything goes in those places. There's always back rooms and special lap dances. And then from there, we really emerged into a heavy porn scene. And porn is a problem because it also is one of the reasons that people stray. Now they're looking at unrealistic body types and skills that maybe your wife doesn't have, your girlfriend doesn't have, your lover doesn't have, because you put your wife, your significant other on a pedestal and you don't want them to behave that way, but you have fetishes.
Right.
And it's called the 80-20 rule of infidelity. You might have 80% of what you want with your mate, but 20% is missing. And what is that 20%? And then you go seek that 20% because you think the grass is greener. And so many people make this mistake because they want that porn experience. They want that stripper. They want love bombing, whatever.
I want to be wined and dined and taken everywhere. And but then the practicality of it is
80%.
The other 80% that's like foundationally good, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
For 20%. To get your rocks off, or whatever the fantasy is that you want fulfilled.
I almost think we could turn this podcast into Girls Hate Technology, because it's eroded so many important critical moments of our lives.
It's bled into every aspect of our world. Going a little bit more positive, I don't have a problem with sex toys. If you want a sex toy for yourself, it's much easier for guys to do what they do, right? Women are a little more visual. So if we're not partaking in something that's visual and really intimate, a little device that can get it done in 90 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever, it's not terrible. And the number one, do I call it a vibrator? It's not even a vibrator anymore, because vibrators suck. They do both. They have a sucking motion now.
They do.
Oh, yes. There's, yes. And the number one.
I thought you were being metaphorical. You're actually being practical in that vibrators suck.
Before, vibrators were vibrators, and now vibrators have a suction capability as well. So they're dual functioning. And some people are concerned that they're larger. So people wanted a more convenient travel version, or something that wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb when they have kids in every drawer. And this is called Nancy's Lem. It looks like a lemon. So if it's left out, I mean, who's got a lemon next to their bed? No, but it's not as bad as other things that kids can stumble upon.
Oh, so it doesn't appear to be anything of sexual genitalia.
Exactly. So it's
a lemon.
It's an actual lemon.
What do you do with that lemon?
Well, she also has an avocado. It's called Nancy's Avo. Whatever. It's benignish for kids if they stumble upon. Kids are going to go through your drawers and find things anyways. Nancy's Lem is known for its like bullet and suction precision. So it's a dual device.
These are new sponsors.
They could be. I maybe. Number 2 was the Bird Nammy. I don't know exactly how to say it, but that came in number 2 for dual vibrators.
What does that do?
I think it does. I think most vibrators now have this suction capability if you would like it. If you want a traditional vibrator, you can go that route. And if you want something that is inserted and doing all kinds of different 360s, pearls, whatever, there's a lot of things out on the market. It's whatever you like. To me, it's very simple. If you go right to that special spot. It doesn't take a whole lot. They used to have little lipstick vibrators. It looks like a lipstick. You can carry it around with you when you travel. Keep it in your purse. It's a personal decision.
Okay, this is very, very.
A blow up doll.
What do guys use?
I don't know. I have seen some weird mechanisms that simulate some type of a hole that they can penetrate and liquids. Or
weirdest.
I'm not well versed on that.
God,
I know, but there are things out there for a man that would like some type of pleasure.
Do you think that's where men go back to?
Agreed, because that's all they need.
And again, we go back. That's where Playboy was born out of.
Right.
Like dialing into the fact that men are very visual.
Yes.
And they like what they like.
And then Playgirl came out and I was like, ew.
No, thank you.
I was young when I first saw it. I was like, that is just way too much.
It's like going to Chippendales.
It's
like you do it for a bachelorette party because you have to.
See, I think,
and you kind of like it, but at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, that's not really fun.
But see, that's why I'm okay with like looking at women over men. I'd rather look at like your naked body than a guy that I don't know's. I don't know. I don't want, if I'm not attracted to the guy, if I don't think he's cute, I don't want to see that. But I don't want to see it.
In general, it's better without.
I just don't want to see another person's. I feel like that's an invasion of my privacy. I'm so sick of seeing this giant black guy's dick that goes
like
viral.
All of a sudden people like send you the message and you're like, click on it.
I can't. I feel violated. I don't want to see it one more time. It comes in the sneakiest ways. I click on it. I fall for it. And I am so tired of seeing it. I feel like I actually am scarred.
I know. I think you are. Because usually people are sending you rainbows and unicorns and happiness and flowers and the best story ever.
Yeah.
And Farley's like, oh my God, this is the best story. She clicks on it. It's like, nope.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest thing ever.
And we will not share a photo of that guy.
Abby Boyle gave me, my daughter, who's a jokester, she gave me a black mug. And I don't know what's enticing about the mug on the outside. It might say like world's greatest mom, something like that. But as soon as hot liquid gets poured into it, I'm not kidding you, this guy appears. The black guy appears with the giant
shalong.
Yes. And it's so funny because you don't expect it as you're drinking your coffee. And all of a sudden the image on the exterior of the mug changes. And I'm like, so
at least you didn't bring it out to like high school lacrosse game.
Oh my God. That would be terrifying. Well, we don't have a whole lot more to say, but I am disappointed with teen porn being the most searched and popular. Number 2 on porn, if we're getting back to that, is lesbian. And number 3 is amateur. Hopefully it's not underage. The sex trafficking thing I'm scarred by. It's a crime. It's disturbing. If that's what floats your boat, you have problems and you need a therapist because it's not normal. And that's the problem that I have with every chick being bare and looking like she's really young because she removes all of her hair. That's a weird message. If you have a daughter that's coming into puberty and she's getting hair on her genitalia, the last thing that I want her to do is take it off.
Right.
So that she can look like this eternal fountain of youth. It's a problem.
Well, and what we need to remember is that what we're really trying to protect, regardless of what makes you excited, is innocence.
Yes.
Innocence is what needs to be protected. At least if you put a limit on what age you can engage in things.
It's trending down.
It's too young.
Thanks to Epstein. I think it's always been a problem, but Epstein really exposed it. There's been so much exposure of young sex trafficking and famous people like Anthony Kiedis, who I love, from the Chili Peppers, liking 18-year-olds.
This is another episode. This is part of our society and what's happening with everybody wanting to have the fountain of youth and injectables. Everybody values youth and everybody wants a piece of innocence.
Who's the director that married his adopted young child?
Woody Allen.
How's that legal?
You know, I don't know.
That's a problem. That's what we're highlighting here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it is a personal decision which boundaries you want to cross.
And the Woody Allens of the universe, you don't want that to be your legacy because a lot of people don't even remember him for his movies. They remember him for being
marrying his
horrible
daughter,
sexually deviant. And that's sad.
It's weird.
Some of the ultra intelligent have a weird way of thinking about things. And that's what intrigues us and also what scares us.
True.
But what doesn't scare us is
our Got Grit Award winner.
And this Got Grit Award winner of the week is always in line with safety in the water. We are a family of surfers, of people that absolutely love to be in the ocean. And my fear has always been I'm not comfortable in the water. I think it's because of Jaws, of my feet dangling on a surfboard. Our Got Grit Award winner is Lulu Gribbin. She's a 15-year-old Alabama girl who survived a severe shark attack that took off one of her arms and legs back in June of 2024. And what this young, beautiful human spirit thought was, we have the warning systems of Amber Alerts. We have these warning systems for when old people go missing, Silver Alerts, where you get a notification on your phone. It's targeted. It's meant to only go to the demographic and where it's being impacted. So you don't worry the whole world with somebody being missing.
Right.
You worry just the county or the region.
Right.
And what she said is, like, why aren't we using this for known shark attacks? It could have helped me. She was attacked by a bull shark in the Alabama Gulf Shores, and there had been a previous attack in the area. And she's not angry about it. All she wants to do is shift the needle so somebody else doesn't have to be attacked. Yeah. And all we do is share info. Listen,
she's paying it forward.
And we hate technology on so many levels, but technology that's where it becomes a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's where it becomes very useful. I mean, we've got this device, everybody's holding it. If there's a shark attack or a shark sighting in a specific location, everybody in that area gets an alert that lets them know, hey, there's sharks in the water and this is what's going on.
Yeah, so it's the emergency warning system and NOAA and all of them working together.
Very smart. Nixle. It's like when we get, somebody steals a car in our community, we know if somebody's house is getting robbed, you sign up for these alerts and you get them. So maybe you're not plagued with it if you don't want to be because you don't like the beach and you never surf.
But if there's an actual situational risk that you need to be aware of, why wouldn't we use technology to educate us? So she's amazing. This initiative, I hope tips, and I hope every coastal community is able to take this on because it makes sense.
I agree.
And I hope that there's some sense made of our song of the week because I learned something every single week about the artist.
Very often you have musicians that tell a story in their song, and this is a story. These lyrics are so heavy duty. It's about somebody cheating, somebody famous, two very famous people. One of them got busted. She tells the narrative in her lyrics. I'm not going to read them all to you, but I'm going to start off with this. I know none of this is your fault. Messaging you kind of feels assaultive. Saw your text. That's how I found out. Tell me the truth and the motives. I can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. No, I can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. How long has it been going on? Is it just sex or is there emotion? He told me it would stay in a hotel room, never be out in the open. Why would I trust anything that comes out of your mouth? Why would I trust anything that comes out of his mouth?
Oh my God, what a powerful song.
And the lyrics just keep getting bigger and better because now there's dialogue with the mistress. And do you want to guess who
she reads it, and the dialogue, I didn't know this song, and when Farley played the song for me, and she's reading and singing the lyrics, and the text message that comes through, and the way that she speaks is insane.
Are you ready for this? It is Lily Allen, who was married to David Harbour, who is Hopper on Stranger Things, who was my favorite character. And meanwhile, Lily Allen was one of my favorite musicians. And somehow I didn't know that the two of them were married.
Oh.
And this song is called Madeline. And you need to listen to the whole entire album because she destroys him. She moved from London to the States to support and be with him. She got him a little man cave apartment so that he could go do his craft and be on his own, which was the backdrop for a lot of his kinky exploits. This must have been so cathartic for her to write this album and for her to smear him publicly. But the song has a great beat. There's a little bit of a rap. LDN is on that album too. The whole album is really good because she's getting revenge. I can't think of a better way, actually.
It's also acknowledging some of the stuff that's happening and saying it's not okay to pretend that we have an agreement and we don't, and to pretend that you're being honest with somebody else while lying to me. and
And to
playing
have the
and playing
mistress,
two people against each
and
other.
to have the mistress like reach out when she realizes who you are and try to act like she's on your side, and she'll give you intel. And I'm so sorry, I didn't want to be a part of something like this because I have my own feelings about infidelity. Give me a break.
And to everyone out there and myself, if it feels wrong, you
also have maternal
you have
instincts.
instincts.
You can
Exactly.
feel when something,
if you get a pain through the center of your chest on things ever, if you feel pain in your body anywhere,
or you have a hard time breathing, or your stomach is upside down,
tell people about things.
Yeah.
If people want to keep it secret,
trust your gut.
Pause, reevaluate.
We were given a gut for a reason. We don't like what it says sometimes. It's pretty spot on.
You got
and ready to trust your gut.
It's the right thing to do to trust your gut. And guess what? If you trust your gut and you're wrong, the people that love you will be okay with what you questioned.
Whenever we feel insecure, it's because we've been made to feel insecure in some way, whether it's validated or not. Somehow I feel like something is off, and I trust my gut, and 9 times out of 10, I'm right. So that's it. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
And keep tuning in,
feeling what you're feeling, articulating what you think, being present, and having conversations with the people you love, because there's nothing more important than connecting and communicating.
We're broken records at this point. It all comes back to talking about things that are uncomfortable and keeping it real. Share our episode with somebody that you think wants to be as gritty as we are. And hopefully you feel like you know us, because if you've listened to us, I think at this point, you probably feel like you're right here with us.
Yeah, you are Girls Gone Gritty. Thank you for being a part of it.